this is me, my very sleepy cat here. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, the Lady Autist, also known as Tiffany Daniels. So I'm going to address something that's been addressed by folks earlier. I've been stuck in advocacy brain, and when I'm stuck in advocacy brain, it's kind of hard to switch gears. So it took me a minute, but I wanted to talk a little bit about Mads Mikkelsen's comment in regards to taking over the role of Grindelwald. Now, I have tried to kind of see both sides, as I do with most folks. Yes, even the trolls, I'm that kind of level of stupid sometimes. But the fact of the matter is, the more I analyze the comment that's got everyone upset, the more I kind of rub my head saying, where has he been? What planet is he on? Or more to the fact, what is it that mainstream media is trying to sell people now? Because this comment that this has been very bad for both of them, and I hope they're both in the back in the saddle soon. Okay, let's look at that statement. First of all, if her PR and all these clickbait articles are anything to be taken into the account, when has she been out of the saddle? Because as far as I have seen, since this has all been going on, she's had steady work. She's had Aquaman 2. Aquaman, she has The Stand. She has this Aquaman 2. Apparently she's talking about being in Pirates. Basically any movie that's being made, she's in talks about, according to what the mainstream media says. So how does it fit that she needs to get back into the saddle? If her PR and mainstream media is to be believed, she's never been out of the saddle. It has been JD who has lost two major roles, two major characters that he himself created. So, and even with him, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. He had Minmada, and when he wasn't working on that, he was working on Crock of Gold, so it kind of doesn't work on either side, really, but overall, at least in mainstream media eyes, if you don't watch the smaller screens or keep an eye to what's going on internationally in cinema, then it's he's the one who's losing the jobs. She's not been out of the saddle. Okay, that point covered, and I wish them both the best. Mads. Where do you get your news? Where are you getting this from? And this is the kind of comment you would make if it was just another nasty celebrity divorce. Where it's just another nasty he said, she said nonsense. If that were what was going on here, then that comment would make sense. However, that is not what's going on here at all. So I have to wonder, where on earth is he getting his news from? Is that what he thinks is going on? Is just another nasty divorce? Is he aware that the divorce has already been decided? I don't know. That's if on the best side of things. If he just thought it was another nasty celebrity divorce and he's just been completely out of the loop. Now, if he has paid attention to the headlines and knows that the audios are out there, then again, this comment what it comes off as is either A, someone who really has absolutely no clue about what is actually going on, or B, that the relationship was just toxic on both ends and that it was mutual abuse. So, either way, it doesn't look good on him having to have thrown that in there at the end of what he had to say when he broke his silence. So, and I know probably no celebrity watches this. There's a point in time, especially when you don't have all the facts, where less is more. Less is more. All you had to do was just make a little comment about taking over the role and simply left it at that. And if they would have asked about the situation, which mainstream media tends to do, because they want that little extra, to get more people watching. It's sad but true. It's just a simple no comment. I don't feel like I have enough information to be able to comment on what the situation is. That's all that had to have been said. That's all that had been said. And now, because that extra was thrown in, you've got a lot of DV survivors. A lot of DV survivors who feel personally slapped in the face with that comment. Because hopefully ignorantly, I would hope it wasn't deliberately wishing an abuser well. It's just you would see how that would come off as a slap in the face, right? Right? You would see how that would come back. So, this is why we have to be careful when we talk about things. I try really hard not to speak about things that I don't feel like I have a good grasp of. I might allude to it and then send you to another source who has more information than me. It's kind of why I've turned this channel over to the new theme that I have, talking from perspectives that I do know very, very well, as opposed to trying to make heads or tails of things that I'm not so strong on. But anyways, with this whole situation, I will say I'm extremely disappointed in Mads. I'm extremely disappointed in anyone who's wishing an abuser well, whether it's in complete ignorance or not. Learn the situation before you say anything about it. Just saying. Just saying. It's just, people need to know this is in the media. People need to know how nasty it is. People need to either A, educate themselves, or B, just state, I simply don't know enough to be able to give a comment. And move on to, like I do, what your strong points are. Anyways, I just wanted to get that out there. I know there's been not really so much infighting as there is some people in regards to some of the comments on what Mads said. People saying, don't attack him, don't attack him. Okay. People are allowed to voice their anger. You've got a lot of survivors on Twitter, on this platform, on YouTube. And the fact that this actor, who is already replacing the character that JD created, and already was on thin ice due to stating it was a rumor that he'd be replacing him and then actually did. It's just people were already upset. That was already him being on thin ice. And then you add insult on top of injury to people who have been through hell. So they have a right to voice that disappointment and voice that anger. The same way we would do to any other AH stan on Twitter stating the same things. People should not get a get out of jail free card simply because they have a following, or they're a celebrity, or they're an actor that they admire. In fact, it is important, even when you're a fan of a big star, to call them out on this type of behavior and be like, hey, do you realize what this sounds like? I mean, I would. Anybody would. If you're a real fan, then you will voice when something that somebody says just comes off awful. And they should be called on it. And we shouldn't be swooping in telling people to not say bad things about Mads. An honest critique, an honest correction is not a bad thing. And people have a right to do that. Just like we on the autism spectrum have the right to call out Sia if we feel like some of her fans are behaving in an extremely abusive, harassing manner towards us, for feeling like we have the right to voice how we would like to be seen and represented in cinema. It's really no different. So, I just wanted to get my piece out there on that. Now, there has been some new news from Fairfax. I kind of went over it a little bit yesterday. I would like to refer you to the real Laura B on Twitter. Come Geek Some, Tug, and the others. They're a little bit stronger in being able to decipher the legal documents into English than me. Alright, folks, I do appreciate your time today. Yeah, as always, we don't get many views on this channel. The views that we do tend to get removed. So please, if you could, hit the like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time today, and I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.